What is going on, guys? My name is Jericho, aka Jarrett Cuts, and I'm so excited to teach you guys how to do a simple fade. If this is your first time cutting hair, I recommend using the clipper instead of the trimmer to do your first bald guideline. When you're starting off, one of the hardest things to get out is the big initial guideline if you use the trimmer. So I recommend trying the clipper. Try that out. After balding out the client, use no guard open on your clipper and go about half an inch up his hair. Pro tip is to make sure your guidelines are very even all throughout this head. Step 2, with the no guard closed, go at the very bottom and flick out with the corner of the clipper. Make sure you don't use the whole clipper because then you'll create another line, which is really hard to get out, and right now it's a blending process. The way I like to fade is create the guideline and blend it out. It has worked for me, so it might work for you. Go ahead and try it out, and it helps you to not get lost in the fade. With the number 4 guard, I'm gonna debulk his hair. When you get close to parietal ridge, make sure you flick out like this to avoid rounding out the top of his hair. Always go with the direction opposite from his hair growth so that you can make sure you're cutting his hair evenly. Now fading down using a number 3 guard open, I went ahead and went underneath of that fold, repeating the same process. And skip this number 2 guard and went to the number 1 guard. I use it open and use the corners to blend out the very bottom line. You're not gonna get rid of any lines here, you're just softening up that dark spots. Notice I don't turn my clipper to the right, instead I just keep my clipper leveled up. I'm going against the grain of his hair. Close the number 1 guard and go right under that guideline. Make sure you're not going over on top of the guidelines that you said before. We're fading down. When fading down, you wanna just use the corners of your clipper. Grab your half guard and open the lever. Again, I want to stress on how I'm using only corners to blend out the fade at this point. All of the guidelines have been set and now we're just blending it all out. I recommend doing this when you're a beginner barber just to be able to have the skill set of having lines and getting rid of them. Now with your half guard lever closed, using the corners again, we're going to try to blend out that very bottom line. Some things to remember is just to go against the grain and use the corners of your blade. There's a flicking motion. It's not a huge flicking motion, it's very small movements. You can see what I'm doing right now, it's very small flicking motions. That's how you really get rid of those lines right there. Alright guys, so in this part of the video, I'm going to show y'all what I mean by detail work. We're going to get rid of the very bottom line right now using only the corners. When detailing, you want to use your clipper open first. Once you figure out that it's not cutting anymore, close the lever a little bit or maybe all the way. At this point, you're going to have to just rely on the skills that you built. It's really hard to teach somebody detail work because you really have to know what you're looking for. As somebody who's been cutting for a long time, I would say develop a good barber eye. Barbers can see spots and dark spots that normal people can't normally see. You'll develop this over time, so make sure you just keep improving with every haircut that you do, and you'll know exactly what I mean once you get it. Your first time isn't gonna look like this, but it can look like this if you keep practicing. Don't stop. This part of the video, I'm just gonna do is lineup. I always start my lineups in the top of a C cup and kind of go downwards from it. Don't push back no C cups like that. I know some barbers that be doing that. What y'all doing? Alright, for the beard, use your comb and comb everything up. I'm using a number 2 and riding it down. With this part, you just kind of don't push too hard, just lightly go against it. Make sure you don't dig into his chin and you're kind of just hovering over it. You don't want to round out the front part of his chin hairs, if that makes sense. We're almost done, guys. We're gonna use our scissor over comb technique with our texturizing shears. What this is gonna do is soften the fade towards the long part of his hair. And that's the cut. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure you like, subscribe. Let me know if you have any questions. Thank you guys for watching. Till next time.